What's going on, guys? It's WeeFinney here, and well, to be honest, I wouldn't want to be making this video, but unfortunately, I feel like I have no choice in the matter. As some of you may know, I quit Bleach essentially, and I stopped uploading on YouTube and stuff. It started when I reset my computer and I lost all my folders and documents and some of the content that I had already made and was preparing to upload. So that kind of put me off, but then I was like, oh, you know what, let's get back into it and try and start again. So that's why I uploaded a few, and then I just never got actually round to doing the videos anymore. But there's been a few things going on. First thing is forums. They're a complete and utter mess. So they are. And two is, the future to this game. I just don't see it progressing anywhere, or anywhere meaningful, should I say. Updates are slow. Characters just keep getting just a mixture of fucking bullshit, excuse my French, but it's, you're spending 60k gold just for a character to last like a month or so, or 50k gold or whatever. It's just kind of boring. There's no substance to the game. There's no, the only PvE things there is you couldn't really call it PvE, but experience instance, which is pointless once you hit max level. You could do it every day for the coupons chance, but it's a waste of silver, in my opinion. You also have trial, which stops at the tier 6. They don't even have this unlocked, which just shows this has been locked from ever since the game started up until now. There's no indicator of that opening ever. There's no indicator for the level increasing or even the RI increasing. Not saying that there isn't enough RIs, it just adds something new. King of Hollow Souls doesn't even have a reincarnation version. You complete this, say you buy Hell vs Ichigo and a decent supporter like Kokodo or something, you could clear this pretty early. As soon as you unlock it, you could probably clear most of it. So it gets boring. Sarate Soul Palace, it's it gets pointless. It says here, you've got 165, level cap's 155 or 159. Why is this even here? We can't even get to the last ones. It's all the way up until 360 points, and the 155 only gives you 150. So it just shows the difference. Maybe this opens when you reincarnate. I'm not 100%. I don't see why it would, to be honest. If so, it should say first reincarnation, just to show. What else have you got? You've got, let's say, Conquest of Might. You need certain characters to, compete in, or not compete as such, be able to do them. But, that's the only real PvE thing. There's nothing that you can do every day that, you're thinking, okay, I haven't been able to pass this stage. Maybe I'll try something new. Some players want that, but unfortunately, they're thinking, oh, characters. But the characters are going to waste because there's no real reason to use it. Yes, you get PvP, you get Tournament of Throne, you get CSB. Tournament of Throne, really, it's literally only me and Natsu fighting against each other. And that's it, really. Master Reincarnation, Super Saiyan has that every day of the year, you know. Sometimes you may get unlucky and, you know, one of these other ones get it, but, you know, I haven't seen it happen for a long time. CSB, you know, same again, Super Saiyan's at the top. You know, you might see Koyama take it once or twice. You know, there's no competing with them two. Not complaining about that. You know, fair play to them. But I feel like if there was a lot more to, you know, do in the game, you would have a lot more people topping up. You would have a lot more people competing for that first spot, you know. Knowing that, you know, their money is going to be invested into, you know, new content, new updates. You know, the last meaningful update in my eyes, you know, you can blast me on this if I'm wrong, but the most meaningful is probably the tier 11 and the 130 sets. You know, they were the only meaningful. Maybe the challenge stones as well. Other than that, don't really see any real value to it. Maybe the void being updated once or twice, but even at that, they couldn't get that right first try. You know, it was an absolute mess for a big chunk of it. But you know, hopefully in the future they wise up and they go, you know what, let's update. But in the current state, there's no hope of it. Forums is another cluster. I don't know if I can stretch my screen out here. I don't think so unless I pause. Give me okay, so I had to close the recording to resize what I'm recording, but forums are a complete and utter mess. And the reason being is, in my opinion, there's a mod that's just toxic, you know. Don't get me wrong, a lot of people can be toxic. You know, things can get out of hand, and, you know, people can have, you know, different ideas and different opinions, but the way he goes about it is just, you know, completely and utterly wrong. So I'm going to go into the final form of Mo forum post that was opened by a guy. The reason for that is it was closed because of the amount of, you know, flaming toxicity that just went on in this forum. It started with the guy posting Mo's just like idea or like mods and skill and whatever else, and then, you know, they were like, oh, that's not the real version. So the mod posted the real version. People were, you know, pretty unhappy. There was a few people that, you know, liked the concept, not gonna lie. A few people, you know, was like, he's not too bad. But, you know, there was a few people asking, you know, are you gonna get it, such and such? And the mod who has been hyping it up basically said, you know, kind of 50-50 if I'm gonna get him or not. I'll try and find where he said 50-50. I can't really. Let me see. Can't even really find it. Let me see. He definitely did say, oh, I've got a 50-50 chance of, you know, getting them, which kind of annoyed a few people because they were like, you know, you're hyping him up. Why are you only 50-50 about him? You know, which is fair. You know, this guy has been hyping him up so much. There we go. You know, so somebody asked, so are you getting Mo when he releases? I'm just curious. And he was like, possible, it's only 50-50. People were like, you know, why only 50-50? You've been defending him the entire post. Which is true. People were, you know, saying Stern Ritter, Uru was better, Mookum was better, HVI was better. You know, people thought Mo was kind of useless. But Saitama here, or as I like to call him, Baldy, was kind of like, no, guys, he's, really good, he's one of the best, which is fair enough. He has to hype it. It's his job. He has to try and persuade people to try and get it, or even possibly think about getting it. That's what he's there for. But unfortunately, he was, not major flaming, but he was flaming a bit, and it rubbed a few people up the wrong way, and then it resulted in just a complete and utter shitstorm. People were just like, why are you getting on like this? There was another guy that was basically, rubbing Saitama's dick and just was like, yes, boy, yes, do it like this. He was on his side, just like making people worse off, and Saitama knew that and was like, oh, I'll work with this guy, and what it resulted in was me feeling like, I had to pipe up and say something. He said, he had no contribution in Mo's mods or skills design or, anything to do with Mo. He was the final quality inspector. And that still has something to do with him, because, you're the one who has the final check, say, you're not going and passing it on to somebody else. You're the final checker, or so you say. You are the last line of defense. So obviously you have some sort of say over this. So he tried to say it was something like, oh, it was worse off, and he fixed it. But he kind of just said he didn't fix it, or he didn't have any hand in fixing it. So I don't know what's true in his side, but I just basically said, you had no contribution on making him, yet you said you're the final checker. Last time I checked, that means everything falls on you. I was pretty heated, so maybe I shouldn't have dropped bald ass head, but what can you do? I was like, if people complain about the recent characters, it's because you let them get released like that, because he is final, checker, and I'm putting that in, finger quotations, he is the final checker. He said something about, he passes complaints on to the company. If anybody has a problem, we can say to him and we'll pass it on. A load of people complained about his attitude, and what it resulted in was people getting warnings and, people just getting banned from the forums that didn't even say anything on the forums in the first place. Somebody said something in Discord, and he didn't like what they said and banned them from the forums, which, first of all, shouldn't be allowed. And I think she got unbanned, not 100%, but first of all, it should not have happened. It's super unprofessional, shouldn't happen. I said, the game's pretty dead, because, it is. You have very little loyal fans, and they're starting to go one by one because there is no, meaningful update or substance to the game. And it definitely won't recover from, badly made characters, or, just characters that don't fit with something, that doesn't have something to coincide with it. If there was some PvE that you could justify getting that character with, people will buy it. But there's no PvE. There's no... All it is for PvP. And if you wanted to make a PvP game, you should have went a different way about it. I said, make some more substance to the game, like new PvE functions, or even update old functions, like the pet system could do a wee bit of an update. That'd be pretty nice. You could even add in some, I don't know, something new for the main character, or something that you could update, like something to do with unpacked toes, or just something in general. Something. That's all we're asking for. Something, even it be small or big. Something would be nice. And then, you know, I posted an idea for a PvE function, which I took from Naruto, and basically the lab function in that game. And I posted it and was asking people on the forums, you know, why, or, you know, would you like to see this? Or, you know, if, you know, you had any ideas, what would you change or what would you do, you know? I was asking, you know, other people in the forums, but he took it upon himself to remove it and place it into another, like, sticky forum that I personally didn't know existed, because, you know, nobody really checks those stickies. But that's where he put it. I didn't like that, because if I didn't know they were there, then very little other people would know they were there. So I was basically told him I don't like it. You know, didn't really faze him. He was just like, nah, your idea's crap. That's what he basically said to me. My idea's crap, and put it into that other sticky. So I was kind of like, oh, thanks. But I was like, enjoying take care of a dead game must take a lot of strength. This guy, obviously rubbing the heat, you know, sticking more fuel on the fire. And, you know, Zalog said, you know, the statement was, you know, justifiable. Maybe I shouldn't have, you know, said a few words, or, you know, changed a few words. But I just basically said that his statements were contradictory, which is fair. But obviously he wanted to troll. I basically called him out for it. What else was there? You know, he kind of spoke back. He was kind of like, I don't really care, you know. But he tried to still say, oh, I don't consider that as making. It's only a quality check. But in my eyes, it's still, you know, making of a character. Quality checks, or, you know, making, or the drawing of the picture or something, still is a part of making the character. That's what I say, right? Maybe it's wrong, but that's, in my eyes, right. All right. He brought up I quit because of a player called Super Saiyan. A few of my videos, I did say, you know, he was beating me, was trying to make excuses, whatever, which is fair, you know. I did, you know, have a hard time handling Super Saiyan. He was a strong character, still is, but I understood that, and, you know, me and him talked on Discord, cleared everything up. We, you know, at first it was rocky, but now we're sweet. You know, I did say, you know, oh, he had a bit more longer time, or he had more time topping up or whatever. But the fact of the matter is, he was topping up loads more, and I couldn't compete, you know, which is fair. But that was not the reason why I quit. He posted something about it on Facebook, which, you know, I didn't like, because there's no way of me defending myself or calling him out, which, you know, kind of rubbed me up the wrong way. But he kept saying, oh, you couldn't beat him. You're trash. You couldn't do this. Whatever. I was like, okay, thanks, whatever. That's obviously not the reason why. But obviously that's what he thought. He basically was just like, oh, everybody's a loser. Anybody who's, you know, unsatisfied where they are, it's an easy way to quit. In order to feel not as bad, they would bring other people around down with them, which I disagree completely. He's judging it from his side, and obviously not asking, oh, why did you quit? He won't even join Discord chats to even speak this, or even to clear things up, which annoys us more. But obviously he looks at it differently. It's like, you know I couldn't handle Super Saiyan. We already talked, whatever, made up. If he didn't run from the Discord servers, we'd be able to, we made up and talked about it and stuff. I was like, the reason I'm still here is because I play time to time. I can't let all my work go to work waste fully, which is true. I have a pilot at the moment, one of my close friends. He's taking care of the account in case I do decide to come back. And the only way I would come back is if there was updates. So at the moment, it's just not looking, possible. But I can't really say yes or no. I was like, I think he said something like, I don't bring anything to this game, so I shouldn't speak or something like that there. I said to him, I make videos in the game, mainly because I enjoy it, and I like to show off my games and say, come play with me type of thing. I was making community fight videos, showing off other people's teams, trying to make it look like, the community's friendly. But obviously he didn't pick up on that. So I was kind of like, he was adamant that he didn't want to, or he didn't make any changes, but I was basically like, he still made a change. And he was like, aren't mods supposed to be objective, whatever. I was like, aren't mods meant to respect players and not treat them like trash? Because Zellog, there's Potato, or Tato, Miss Potato, whatever you know her by. Me, I think there's another player or two that all have warnings because of, just given some sort of heat or some sort of disagreement in the forums about, the way things are being done, or, way updates have turned out or whatever. It was like, talking about my idea, he was like, you wouldn't post this in the improvement thread and make your own separate thread, which, again, I didn't know there was an improvement thread. I really skip over the top, whatever they are, the top threads, because I just feel like they're nothing important, or, nothing to do with what I would be looking for. I look for whatever people have posted, because they're the main source of the game, the actual people. He does play himself, Baldy, but I don't really, I didn't really know of him, so he mustn't have been that impactful until he became mod, and then he just started going crazy. He was like, keep the improvements inside, or whatever. I was like, what? They won't have the manpower and time to input something new. So there you go. Like, they won't have the manpower and the time to input something new. I feel like that is just, a snuff or a bullshit excuse for, I feel like sometimes maybe the devs don't actually know what's going on because they're fed bullshit from the mods. But, I could be completely wrong about that. So, that's probably not 100%, true. It's probably complete opposite. They know what's going on, and the mods are, only going off by what the devs want, but we'll never know on that aspect. And then basically, kind of taunted. He was like, so do you really think this is a good idea? Kind of talking shit. Let me see. So yeah, this was my idea. It was kind of, the labs from Naruto. I basically changed it. It was like, known as Mayuri's lab, or it could be like Division 12 lab, or, something that would fit with the game. I was like, player will fight selection of fights to unlock a lab, each lab having their own bonus. In Naruto, the first stats, Assaulter, Vanguard, Supporter, and then the whole army, which all give HP bonuses. So I thought, maybe that could be a possibility. Even if they want to try and make some sort of money from it, they can add the game items into events and whatnot. But, obviously, he thought that was a terrible idea, so that's, you know, why he was trying to egg that on. And then we had, you know, his partner in crime talking crap again. I basically, you know, doubled down. I was like, yeah, I think it is a good idea, and a start for something new. You know, I was like, maybe not do it straight away, start something smaller. But you must be crazy if you think the game alone can survive on a few, or, you know, some new characters. But, you know, he must think that if, you know, all he does is, you know, hype up all these characters. You know, this character can do that character can do this. And, you know, there's no proper use for them except for PvP. You know, I want to, if I'm spending, you know, a couple $100 on trying to have one character, I want to get use out of them, like good hard use out of them. But unfortunately, he doesn't see that. I wanted feedback and a discussion with other players, but you noticed, oh shit, gotta stop players from interacting it and they notice in the game. But that's the way I feel. Like sometimes, you know, if somebody tries to say something about the game, or, you know, have any conversation with any other players, he tries to step in and try and make you the bad guy, or try and just cut it dead or whatever. But, you know, whatever. Let me see. He's like, yeah, you made up to him. You sure he feels that way? Yes, he does. We had a chat. Stand up to me. More like wasting my time discussing stuff with kids who think they are all that. I don't think I'm all that, actually. I just, you know, I'm a guy playing a game that I'm very passionate about. He's like, I've seen the video. They're nothing special. But whining about Super Saiyan can beat you and etc. Give yourself excuses. Which is fair enough. I did give myself excuses at the start, and then, you know, I kind of noticed, right, there's no way beating this guy, which is fair. He was like, you can stick to how you feel about it. The outcome of the partners is still controlled by the company. I just checked the quality of the product and threw in the reviews about how to balance the partner. The company still have to find a way to finish it, and so I said, nothing to do with this partner being created. Still hold truth. Yes and no, because you just said there, I just checked the quality of the product and threw in reviews about how to balance the partner, this partner better, right? That alone is still affecting the creation of the character. If the devs only, or the company only had themselves to bounce off, they're more inclined to just give out the base idea. But if they have mods to bounce it off, which they do, which you're the mod that they're bouncing it off by the seams of things, you know, you're giving input and you're still giving, you know, some sort of creation to this character. If what holds true, you're making sure that it's staying balanced, that is, you know, still an aspect of creating it. That's what I'm trying to get at. But unfortunately, you know, he didn't see it that way. He was like, give me no respect. Why would I respect you in the first place? I think mods should always be, you know, diligent and nice to their, you know, players. After all, they are the consumer. They are the customer. You know, without them, you know, there is no game aspect or anything in general. You know, if you opened up a shop and you had no customers, you're gonna go bankrupt and have no shop left, which applies to this game. You know, if you have no paying, you know, players, you will have no money to keep servers up and keep, you know, updates flowing or whatever. You know, that's how, like, for example, Fortnite's such a big game, such a big, you know, influence over the gaming over the last couple of, you know, months or even year. You know, they've been able to bring out a season every month and a half, regular updates every week. You know, on that scale, you know, maybe it's too much for this company, which is fair. You know, that's asking a bit too much from the company, but we're just asking for some sort of update. You know, even the tiniest bit of update, even once a month or once every month and a half or something. As long as we're guaranteed something meaningful and updateful to the game, then we don't really, we'll have no reason to complain then. Apparently I have limited knowledge, and this character is a bad idea apparently. That was to Zellog. I don't think he really meant like the whole character is the bad idea. Maybe he did, but I seen it more as, it's kind of pointless. Keep bringing out characters if there's no real reason for them, but PvP. He's like, merging that thread into the improvement that it can still attract players to interact with, as you can read if you can. A lot of ideas were posted. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, a load of players did post the threads there. And players interacted with it. If I think that way, I wouldn't open a thread with ideas to add new content into the game. I'd be smart enough yet. I wouldn't open a thread with ideas to add new content into the game. Okay, so in other words, he thinks also the game should be updated, but doesn't act like it should. Instead, he gets characters into the game instead. I don't see, how that justifies the way he gets on. Whatever. Moving on. In what way, shape, or form did he give off saying, tough stuff? The last time I checked, that's you, which is true. I recently just checked. I have 2 warnings for making my own forum post and for talking bad to a mod. First warning shouldn't be a warning, which is the forum post. If that's the case, then everybody should be skeptic about forum posts. And the second warning, which is fair, I'm not going to complain about that one. I was super toxic to the mod, but the mod should have some, repercussions also. He was super, toxic or super nasty to, players and whatnot. He also gave other players warnings for bad mouthing and swearing, which is just stupid. I come from a country where, like, cunt is the best word you could use here. Swearing is in our blood. So, I'd be screwed if I was to talk properly in this forum, because I would have warnings left, right, and centre for swearing. I basically said, respect is earned. He hasn't shown me anything, which is worth respect, which is true. And the last time I checked, company rep is dealing with the public. They have to respect the consumer and not lose their cool, which is true. I work in a retail environment. If I was to, basically tell a customer, get out, fuck you, I don't care what you think, I'd be instantly fired. On the spot. There would be no ifs, buts, and ands. It'd be, get the fuck out of here, you're fired. Yeah, I know, I'm fucking accept the risk. I like to live on the edge, right? It's like, it shows you're unfit for the job, which is true. Because if somebody can't handle a bit of flame or stress or whatever from players, and you can't, go the right way about it, then you shouldn't be in your moderated role at all. Doesn't matter if you get paid for it, doesn't matter if you're, what's the words, volunteering. You're still responsible for what your role entails, but he doesn't see it that way. What is it? I say, we as in you and those cards in the Discord, yet he was the one who ran away from the Discord. We actually wanted him in the Discord to speak to him and actually have a genuine conversation. We offered him to come back in. Well, I offered him to come back into the Discord, or even come to my own personal Discord. you know, so it's me and him one-on-one, you know, just talking and understanding better. But he didn't take the offer. He was like, I've seen enough of you too. If you quit already, then just quit. Don't even show up here and post, because this has nothing to do with you, right? Common sense. He was like, I basically said, you know, thanks for watching, you know, trying a bit of trolly. He's like, sorry I got bored of you mumbling while you do your dailies. It's boring. I didn't watch the whole thing. Which is fair. You know, my YouTube videos aren't for everybody. I do it just to show off my, you know, enjoyment of each game, or, you know, the progress in each game. But hey ho, have fun on your weekend, whatever. This guy trying to troll again. Mayuri putting in his input. He's basically said, sorry, I'm not any company rep. I'm just a moderator of this forum, aka he has something to do with the company. So he, you know, he upholds the reputation of the company, no matter what you are. If you're in a situation of power, or, you know, a role of power in the company, or you are dealing on the company's behalf, you are a rep, as per se, you know, you have something to do with the company. It doesn't matter what way you look at it. But, you know, he basically contradicted himself here. I'm just a moderator of this forum, did the stuff the way of this job description. I'm not paid, so professional is off the case, which doesn't matter if you're paid or not. That just shows how, you know, lowly you think of your, you know, your job. Because I'm not, like, that's me, like, going into work and going, you know, if I do this job for free, you know, fuck you guys, type of thing. But, you know, that just does not work. Doesn't matter. You know, say, what is it, like fucking Red Cross or something? They're all volunteers, or most of them. You know, they couldn't go out and do their job and be like, yeah, fuck you, I can say whatever I want because I'm not paid. Nah, they'd be gone. They wouldn't be volunteering. You know, it doesn't work like that, buddo. I don't be those company reps to take all your shit. Unfortunately, you chose that role, and you take the stick of, or the heat from, you know, the players. If you didn't want that, or you didn't like it, then you shouldn't be in that, you know, role. He says, I'm also a customer. You haven't earned any respect from me either, so I think it's okay if we don't respect each other. So stop complaining. You know, it doesn't matter if I earned your respect or not. There is a, you know, a way of going about things, which I'll hold my hands up and say, which is fair. You know, I maybe shouldn't have came at you like that, but unfortunately, that was the way, you know, I was ticked off, or, you know, I got that heated. That's how I felt like it was the only way to get through to you. And the way I look at it is, I feel like it was the only way to get through to you. Same as Zellog, so there you go. There's Zellog. This is how you check warnings. You got one for swearing, shouldn't be a reason for a warning. Criticizing a moderator's action, now that is just retarded. Like, this should not be, you know, every day everybody gets critiqued in something, you know. Just because you have the power to warn somebody, or like tell somebody off, doesn't give you the actual right to, you know, warn them. That's just stupid. That's like me telling my mum, oh, you know, you criticizing, you know, how I spend my hard-earned cash, you know, there's a red card for you, get off the pitch. You know, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. And then trash talking against the mod, you know, it depends really on the level of trash talk. Bit of heat, which from Zellog, you know, it's educated heat. You know, it isn't just spewing out bullshit, or, you know, constantly swearing. It's actually educated, you know, sayings. So obviously, Baldy couldn't handle it and give him a warning, and then trash talking again, basically the day after, because he couldn't handle the heat. So in other words, If Zello gets another warning, he's banned from the forums for 30 days for practically speaking his mind, which is just stupid. I think that shouldn't be allowed. Don't know, how long them warnings stick for, but, that's there. And then I recently checked and noticed I have warnings. Where are they? Yeah, so I get a warning for off-topic troll comment. Apparently, when was this? 20th to the 8th. Now, I never had this, so I never, and believe me, I would know if I had one of these here. I'd never, I've never seen this before. Same with this one until I checked, like 2 days ago, I think. Offensive language against moderator. It's fair enough, I'll take that one. But this one, off-topic troll comment, and, you always get a bit of trolls, so that should not be a warning. I'm more than certain that, I think I've said maybe like 2 or 3 things before this in the forums, and most of them are all like 2 sentences if you're lucky. So there shouldn't be enough for me to get a warning, but oh well, that's what it is. But I just thought I'm going to tell you how it is, because I think that's the best way to put it. So that's one of the reasons why I quit. It's one of the reasons why a load of people are quitting. Just thought, I should let you know. I did try and sell my account within the Discords and the forums, and I'm surprised they didn't get warning for that from Baldy. But my account's still up for sale. Hopefully, I could get something for it. If not, I'll just keep it being piloted, and then, come back whenever either Baldy's gone or, there's decent updates being pumped out into the game. So, probably not for a long, long time. But I just thought I would let you know. Doesn't mean I'll be quitting, YouTube. I'll be, just not uploading as frequently. I'll try and still get out Dragon Ball. I'm playing the Bleach game on my phone, Reapers of Darkness, so I'll try and get, something out from that, and some other subs, some other videos, just to try and keep up some sort of content coming for you guys. But hopefully you understand. Obviously, I feel like a load of people are going to be, either giving me stick or on my side. So, keep the super toxic between each other, to a minimum in the Discord. If you want to have some sort of conversation, come to the Discords and talk it out there. Try and do it a bit respectfully amongst each other. If not, then, just by all means, go ahead. Just, say what you gotta say, and then, whatever. But hopefully you enjoyed. Until next time, peace.